Numbers. School was a different kind of forest. Based on his conversation with Mama, Elijah decided he would try to be a better friend to Joshua. So, during recess, he tried to ask him many questions. Joshua, where do you go to church? Do you know Marmena? What is your favorite fasting food? Joshua's puzzled look informed him that he was different. But like everything, Elijah loved to observe the world around him. Elijah wanted to discover more. He quickly learned that Sunday mornings were there for watching cartoons and for hockey practices. People ate the same on Tuesdays and Thursdays as they did on Wednesdays and Fridays. Most kids Elijah's age don't take notice that other people's inner and outer realities are unique. But Elijah always noticed and pondered things in his heart. But it mostly made him feel sad. He wondered who Joshua spoke to in his heart all day. Mama, can you please take care of Joshua? I think I really like him. After recess, Madame Laurier returned all their math quizzes. Elijah smiled back at the smiley face sticker he received on his quiz. The number 97 was written right next to it. I guess that is a good thing. Later that day he would discover that good was completely relative. When he showed his math quiz to his dad, and his dad said, "Oh my, where did you lose your 3%?" Elijah quickly understood that what was good for his teacher was not necessarily good for his dad. How can a number mean different things to different people? Numbers seem to shape a child's view of the world and their view of themselves. This was especially true in the minds of Coptic parents. In Egypt, your marks decided for you what, or rather who, you would become. In descending order, doctors, engineers, pharmacists, these were the revered careers that all Coptic parents were praying and hoping for their children. After came a slew of other okay careers: accountants, bankers, business owners. Really, sometimes, it's just not worth mentioning the whole lot of them. If your marks were not great, then you studied the arts or went into agriculture. Now, a modern sophisticated mind in the 21st century would say something like, "It doesn't matter what you do as long as you are happy." This is so far from the truth in Egypt. What you did was who you were. In fact, no one was ever just George. It was either Dr. George or Engineer George or even George, the wealthy bank owner. Deep in the modern Coptic mind, education was a way to survive the challenges of being Christian in Egypt. It was an exodus of sorts. One was reminded of this social totem pole at all times. A doctor's opinion weighed much more than a teacher's opinion. Now this would make sense if the opinion was of a medical nature. But this was not the case. The doctor's opinion about the type of fridge you should buy or the best school to go to or how to teach math for that matter was always more respected than anyone else's opinion. I think Uncle Ansi is a taxi driver, Elijah thought to himself. He must have had really high grades. I love Uncle Ansi. Mama, can you take care of Uncle when he is driving today? Numbers mean everything, especially the numbers on a report card. Elijah grew up to understand this as the months and years went by. Report card night was either horrible, disastrous, or cataclysmic. This, of course, depended on the marks you had in math, respectively 98%, 97%, 96%. Anything below 96% would be seen as catastrophic, almost irreversible, and would trigger endless extracurricular math worksheets. Throughout his elementary years, all the way to his grade 6 graduation, although in the early 80s there was no such thing as a grade 6 or grade 8 graduations. These were hardly seen as milestones. The following generations were much more fragile, especially as a result of the self-esteem movement. They felt it necessary to celebrate every possible milestone. Yes, the day has come that a senior kindergarten graduation is a serious event. Photographers and all, Elijah learned so much in school. It was his nature to be in awe and wonder about everything. However, the majority of what he learned happened outside the classroom. Elijah, now 10 years old, was fascinated at how his friends saw the world. Though he never dared to agree with them or imitate them for fear that his parents would find out, Elijah found himself more and more interested in how boys and girls talked about each other, acted around each other, and ultimately liked each other. These feelings scared Elijah deeply. Numbers are much safer. 3 times 4 always equals 12. Mama, I am not sure I understand why I feel the way I do, but please help. Innocence is a strange gift. On the one hand, it protects the one clothed in her. On the other hand, once shed, it is difficult for one to recover her. Elijah, walking through the forest, thought how once a tree sheds her leaves, it is difficult for her to recover her foliage. Little did he know that fall was around the corner.